Edon, welcome to Sutton United. How does it feel?
It feels great. I'm absolutely delighted to get here, to get to this massive club, and to hopefully have a really good, strong season.
The season just gone is obviously just finished. Did the move come about quickly?
Relatively quickly, I felt like straight after the season sort of finished, I sort of heard about what was going on and stuff, and I just wanted to get it done as soon as possible, to be fair.
Talk us through your career so far.
So I was at Stevenage Academy as a kid, and then from then on I moved on to Burnley, where I did my scholar at Burnley. Unfortunately, got released from there, and then found myself sort of playing non-league. So I played for a number of, so Hanwell Town, I started playing off there, which I really did enjoy. I gained a lot of experience there. Then I moved on to Slough Town, and then National League South. Did well there. Then I managed to get a move to Brentford for their B team, and then on to Hartlepool after that, which was enjoyable. That was my first sort of taste of league experience, which is something I've learnt loads from and stuff, and I hope to, from what I've learnt there, to hopefully apply at my time here at Sutton. And yeah, and then after Hartlepool, moved on to Farnborough in the National League South, and then on to Slough Town, where now I've just left to come to Sutton.
You touched on just there, Burnley and Brentford, two big clubs playing at a quite high level of football. What did you learn from your time there?
Honestly, the amount of stuff I've learned from both my times at Burnley and Brentford, it's been so helpful for me in my career. I never played for the first team at either of those clubs, but from what I've learned in being in the building every day, and from learning from sort of seeing how the first team train and being a part of that sort of environment, you just naturally pick up things in terms of developing a professional attitude and stuff like that. It's just, you learn not only tactically and mentally, but physically as well. It just improves all aspects of your game and stuff like that. And yeah, from what I've learned there, will for sure helped me at my time here at Sutton.
And how did it differ from your time in non-league?
Well, I think mostly the games program, of course. When you play for an under-23s or a B team, you're playing against sort of a younger team pretty much, and that maybe doesn't have its sort of physical challenges as it does in the sort of National League and the league and stuff, which is maybe a bit unrealistic, because you're going to come up against physical teams and whatnot in the National League and the league and so forth. So it's a great way to learn how to deal with that in non-league, as opposed to, you don't really get that test in sort of development football.
Now, obviously, this isn't the first time you played at National League level. You got relegated with Hartlepool to the National League, played a handful of times before going on loan to Farnborough. How did that experience with Hartlepool sort of affect you, and maybe affect your mentality to make sure that sort of experience doesn't happen again? Yeah,
of course. Relegation is never a nice feeling. From when we got relegated from the league, I still did learn a load. I was 20 years old, I think, playing, and from what I've learned in my time there, it really has helped me in terms of not only the physical battle, but making sure you can match the physicality with the technical aspect as well. Not thinking that you've got to be very physical and forget about your technical side, or vice versa. You've got to have a perfect balance, and that's what I really learned. To sort of put in a good performance, is you've got to have sort of both. Really, you can't just be good at one thing and crap at the other.
And how keen are you to now prove yourself at this level after not necessarily playing as much as you would have hoped for Hartlepool at this level? Yeah,
of course. I definitely feel with the attributes that I've got and I can bring, that there's sort of no excuse for me not to do well at this level and at this club. So that's my aim for coming into pre-season and starting the season off strongly. I've got a real sort of point to prove. Not to everyone else, but most importantly to myself, that I can play this level and push on.
Can you describe your style of play for us, for those who may not have seen you before?
If you've not seen me play before, I like to defend the box, really. I think be a defender, really, try and dominate my opponent. I like to win a header, really, and just sort of defend the box, put in a big tackle, and maybe hit a diag once in a while.
Anyone in particular you model your game off?
Well, I'm a Chelsea fan, so John Terry really, I think, is my... John Terry, Thiago Silva, those are my two sort of heroes, I guess. And I try as hard as I can to sort of start my player for them. But yeah.
Now, to just get a little bit more personal, you've got a Kosovan mother, a Bosnian father, you've represented Albania at youth level. How proud are you of your Balkan roots?
Yeah, of course. You know, it's obviously shaped who I am really. You know, I can't be more proud of my parents or what my parents have done for me, you know, especially my dad who's taken me up and down the country. So it's the least they deserve really. I think I am extremely proud to be from Kosovo and to hopefully really just make my parents proud at the end of the day.
What memories do you have of your international debut?
We played against, I think it was Bulgaria, I think, for the under-21s, and it's a proud moment, you know, like there's no taking away from that, playing for your country and stuff, like no one can take that away from you. And to see how happy it made my parents as well just made me even happier. You know, it's not only just my parents, obviously, my extended family and whatnot, they're all really happy for me, and so to do that, to make them happy, I was absolutely delighted.
Now looking ahead, what will you be looking to achieve this season, both personally and with the club as well?
Personally, I'd like to keep as many clean sheets as possible and score a few goals, but as a team, I'd love to see us compete as high as possible and really have a good go at this season, and you know, hopefully a cup run, that would be lovely to be involved in and stuff like that. And I think we can do that with the team that we've got, and of course the management team and stuff, so yeah.
And do you have a message for the fans?
See you start the season, hopefully, yeah. See you start the season, get behind us, and I'm sure we won't let you down.
Cheers, Edon, and welcome to the
Cheers,
club.
thank you.